Hey folks, I took this photograph yesterday on our bike ride, our weekly bike ride through the Wandle Valley along the River Wandle with my old friends. What we've got here is what at first sight looks like a colourless, wintry scene. But I know that these are the wetlands in Malden Hall Park, and they were drained so that all the grasses, the high grasses, the thatched type grasses and bulrushes could be cut down for regeneration. And you can just see here bit of the boardwalk that has been built about a couple of years ago, and it's absolutely beautiful walking through there, especially on a summer's day. But here we have to be more selective. We have to look for the colour, and being artists, we can enhance the colour. So, first thing, complications are all these trees, all these branches, twigs, all these millions of grass tops, and we have to simplify. We don't have to make copies. When you're a beginner, you take photographs to get something to paint from, and you look at it and you're totally bewildered. You think, I can't put all that in. Well, of course you don't. You just create an impression of it. You paint your feeling as much as anything with these things. There's not a lot I want to move around in this. I'll put this tree in. I won't put anywhere near the amount of branches there. I'll just make a suggestion of the tree. And there we've got a small poplar. We'll make something of that. Maybe move it somewhere else. And here we've got these willowy sort of, with these, I don't know what these are. And we've got a tree here which I might or might not put in. But this was taken from the boardwalk, and this water is probably about 2 foot deep. It's boggy. It's all part of the Wandle Valley water system, of which the River Wandle is the main feature, and it sort of goes everywhere. And it's very, very lovely. So I'll put that to one side, and we'll start to paint. Now I'm not doing any drawing. I don't need to. Let's just move my chair up a bit. It's a bit low. Okay. Right. Well, this is my palette. There's my Ron Ranson Hake. This one's wearing out. I'm really going to start a new one. I've got another one ready to go, but they do wear out eventually. So let's wet the paper. This is a bit of £90 Winsor & Newton knot. It's a very lovely paper. It takes a while to dry because it's very porous. But we'll just give it a bit of a gentle wet. And don't want too much, because we're going to add some more wet to it when we put the colours in. Now yesterday was a grey day, wet mostly. It did clear up a bit later on, but we've got so I'll give an overall colour of raw sienna, but not to overdo it. This will be the light behind the clouds. And we'll certainly put it over the boardwalk area, the wetlands. I'll probably lower the horizon. We don't have to paint it all, and it gives us plenty of scope for a nice grey sky, but with some light. So a good colour for that would be, let's try a bit of ultramarine and a bit of burnt umber. They're good colours. The umber gives it a bit of a warm feel. So look, streaky sky coming down. And we'll put that sky in the water as well. Now we can add some slightly darker colour. Just hints. It's a beautiful paper. and it's not expensive. Right, okay. Now you'll see that the paper's stretched a bit, so we'll pull it out. I sold a painting yesterday. I've just been up to collect my cheque from a friend who's got a small gallery near where I live, Wellington. Used to have a larger premise in South Croydon, and he sold many paintings for me over a number of years. But he's moved to Wellington about 3 years ago. Doesn't sell many there, but he's a framer primarily. David Skingle of Sackville Gallery, Wellington, Stafford Road. I send all my people who buy my paintings there. Right, well, I think we can give that a bit of a. Do you want to dry? No, let's go in with a bit of background. Well, that's damp, so it's just the blue, cool colours here. We'll go there with the background. As it dries, I can add more colours to it. But we walk our bikes along the boardwalk. Don't want to annoy anybody. We're exhorted to get off our bikes and just push them, which is nice. But you still get the odd yobbo who insists on riding to everybody's detriment. But there are people who volunteer to work on the River Wandle. There's only a much abused Surrey chalk stream. Oh, let's add some of this here. See, when it's wet, you can do anything with it. It's when it starts to dry, it's critical. A bit more blue in there. So the blue gives it just that cool look, as if it's receding. We're going uphill there, aren't we? So we'll change it. Let's add a bit of green in there. Okay. See, this background is quite a bit different to the original, and it's quite difficult to lift out with this paper. But we'll put in some siennas and umbers, slightly greeny. And we'll add a bit of colour here. I hope that bleeds upwards. The paper's about 30-35 degrees. Then we've got some nice umber, representing different grasses. Much bigger bit here. Bit of alizarin, I think, with that. Just a touch. Leave some sparkle in it for water. Then we go back to the sienna. And I'll leave bits for the water. Show some things to sort of going through them, some dark green. Move the clip. Right, there'll be reflections in there, and some dark muddy stuff. So a bit of blue, bit of umber. Let's put them in. All just bits of interest. They don't mean anything as singly, but they just give an impression that there's something there. And we've got okay, a bit darker. I use a bit of pains there with that umber. Okay, that'll do for there for a moment. Right, okay. Now greeny colour. Brighter green than that, I think. Hopefully, I'm going to do a knife painting later. But that I think is going to go on Patreon, I'm not sure. The hake does so much. And then we've got a bit of darker stuff in here. The green. With the green. You can overwork this paper quite a bit, which you can't really do easily with the Fabriana £130. So it's gently coming down here. Okay, now we haven't got too many darks in that bit, other than this bit here. Let's add to that. Don't know what they are. Put a little bit of it in. Okay. It might lift out a little bit. Let's have just put some umber in here. Just drop some in. Bit too much water there. Let's take some of that out. Okay, that'll do. Right, let's get a card and see if we can lift out a little bit of. It does. I'm sort of drawing with it. Let's just drag some of that down. Just dragging it down for the reflections. And we've got a lot of this here. there'll be more reflections with the trees in this. Let's see a bit of a... No, we'll have to just sort that out, but we'll wait for that to dry a bit. I can texture over it. Just click the paper. Oops. Oh, you know, I forgot to drink my tea. I'll give it a bit of a help, so take your headphones off. But that probably, the paper won't grow probably more than that. Okay, so we can begin to texture it a bit. Now I've been using this old oil brush here. It's got very brittle, but it seems to be making very nice sort of marks. Oops. So let's see what it'll do in here. Push it. I'll add to that. Right, let's go in with a bit of there's a lot of this here. A bit of water. A little bit of shadow at the base of some of those. Greeny ones. Oh. What you put above, put below. Easy. You won't see much detail in the background in the grasses, but we'll try and show some of this here. And we'll start to put the trees in. Okay. Let's just zoom out a little bit. Sorry, I do this all the time. I forget to zoom out. Oh well, you haven't missed much. Okay, so I've got this long sort of rigger here, but I prefer to use the hake for my main trees. So we'll have a bit of greeny, Payne's grey, umbry. So here we've got, so let's put this tree in here, and right off the page. It's an old oak tree, I think. Well, not an old one, but rather stunted oak tree. Some coming up here. Try and get your trees going thicker as they get to the base. A bit of dark in there on one side. Get a much more impressionist feel with the hake. A bit more water, just a touch. With dry brush some twigs and stuff. I mean, about don't try and put them all in. Some coming down. Now I'm using a greeny tint for this. I think when you're beginning your art, the most important thing, apart from buying the paints and stuff, is look out for your lights and darks, contrasts. Light against dark. If everything's the same tone, you won't see it. So you have to vary the depth of darkness and against lightness. If you want something to look light, put it against something that's dark. So I want to make this a little bit more uneven, this tree. So this shows up because it's dark against light. It's very, very important, contrast. Ron Ranson, who we largely follow, although we don't copy his stuff, but you can learn by copying, of course, but don't pass it off as your own if you've copied, or given it attribution based on tone studies, taking one colour, say burnt umber, and sorting out the lights and darks first from the photograph, if you're working for photograph, even if you're not. It's good practice. I've shown quite a few tone studies on YouTube. Oh, let's just put in some more bit of detail around here, a bit of shadowy stuff in here. Palette grey. But there weren't many shadows here because it was a very dull, rainy day. Stop us going, no? These little spindly, stunted. Just looking for the detail, looking for the bits of dark against bits of light. So all these will be sort of showing down here. This tree will be in there. Any more? Some of this here. Oh. No ripples. I mean, it was a very, very still day. Okay. And then there's a branch that's tantalising going across at a bit of an angle there. From that tree there. Okay, I've got loads of greeny, twiggy trees going right up into the air. They're just gossamer like twigs. I don't know what the trees are, probably willows. There's a lot of willows in these wetlands. They get huge and then their weight sort of kills them off. But they're beautiful. They're quite a bit of colour in them. Some sort of burnt sienna, a yellowy burnt sienna. So let's give an impression of them. It won't show up in the similar contrast, but if I put them in higher up, they will show, hopefully. There's loads of them. And they seem to be, that's it. Got that colour, sienna. They seem to be in a shape and then we just put some more of those bits in. Ooh, it seems coming up from like a sort of a, not a bank, but a sort of a not made a brilliant job of that. But they've just got that shape on the top of them that I'm trying to get without doing too much. And a few of these little wayward ones going up into the sky. And I've said I'd put a poplar, didn't I? Somewhere. So there's quite a bit of dark in there, so we'll just do some stuff here over that distance. No, let's put the poplar, can't put it there, I'm going to put it here. I made a good job of that. But anyway, got a bit of that greeny warm in the background, in front of the more distant background. Okay, right, let's do a bit of texture in, a bit of dark green. I'll muck that up a bit. It's a bit muddy. okay, it's just a gentle twiggy bit. Just gently catching the high spots of the paper, trying not to pull it up, much it up there. Shorthand for twigs. Now we can just draw in a little bit of, trying to keep away from the rigger, because that makes a completely different mark than the hake. Oh, there's a few harder bits in there. Just a dark under. F. That end of that oil brush, the handle gone on the floor, covered in ultramarine. See how the hake split? I can't really do much about it. It's what it is. Let's put in another one there. I'm not sure if that'll show. Just some odds and ends. See, that's dried right in, the start bit here. A few more contrasts just to get that light against dark. These little shadow bits in the water, little reflections of underneath the grassy clumps. So there's reflections coming down there, and just sketching this just to there's a bit of the bulbul showing, but I'm not going to put it in. It's like a sort of a slight banking there. Okay, I'm not going to try to justify it, but you can. I'll show you the photograph in a moment. I'll put a couple of birds in. This little rigger here. No people on there. You won't believe there's a tram line behind that. Right, so let's put it in a mount. And then we'll have a quick chat about it, and then I'll prepare a board for the knife painting. Ivory mount. Mostly ivory, bit of red. Well, there we are. From the boardwalk, the wetlands, again another view of it. Here's the photograph, and that's what I've done with it. I've brightened it up quite considerably, I hope. By using these warm colours. That's gone a bit awry there, I don't know how I did that. But anyway, it's a demonstration, and I hope you enjoyed that. What I like about this paper is this superb softness. It's Winsor & Newton. You could pay a lot of money for arches and stuff and not get better than that. That is just as I want it. It's just as I can see that cloud covered landscape with just the variations of grey, but by putting that sienna wash on at the beginning, it gives that light, that warm light behind the clouds. I'm quite pleased with that bit. I'm not so pleased about that bit. But anyway, have a go yourselves, guys. By all means, copy this and make a better job of it. But we've got the cool colours there, taking you back into the landscape, and the warm colours coming forward. Maybe it's not very delicate, and that the hake has something to do with that. But I enjoy doing it. I hope you enjoyed the demonstration. See you soon. Bye bye.